Okay. Uh, uh, good afternoon, everyone. Let us continue today with the next concept in the inverse Z transform. We have already discussed the first method, how to calculate the inverse Z transform, how to get the original sequence x of n by using the partial fraction expansion method. We have solved a few basic problems on partial fractions, and we have also seen if numerator power is greater or equal with the denominator, we first go for long division and then we apply the partial fractions. And in the previous class, in the yesterday's class, we have seen for applying the partial fractions when the roots are repeated, denominator has a square term. So till this is the first method to evaluate inverse Z transform. Today let us go for the second method, that is power series expansion method. You can just look at the slide. This method is somewhat simpler because here majorly we will go for comparison. Okay, so if you just look at your equation for Z transform x of z, it is given by summation x of n z raised to minus n. If you expand this RHS summation, putting n values from minus infinity to plus infinity, I have done that. See here, minus infinity up to some minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, up to infinity. Just expand this summation. After this, when we solve the problems, you'll understand the statement. Just by comparing the Z transform with the above series, we can get the corresponding input sequence x of n. With the solve problem, we can understand the statement. So just remember, this expansion is important here in power series method. Okay? So let us go for the first problem. This is the first question given. We have to find the inverse Z transform of this given x of z, and ROC is greater. Remember, when ROC is greater, our sequence will be right-handed sequence. Right-handed means you have to get the u of n, right? So right-handed means if you just look at your x of z, right hand means these negative powers will go. Okay, we are left with only these positive powers. And if you check this positive powers x of 0 to x of infinity, the z powers are all negative. No doubt n values are positive, but z powers are negative because the formula is z raised to minus n. Okay, so even if n is positive, z powers we will get negative. So this is the important part here when ROC is greater. Okay, now in power series expansion method, what we will do is just simply we go for this division like this. Okay, here also some ratio is given with the numerator and denominator. Of course, numerator is 1. It is simpler, much more simpler. So we will follow this ratio and we will divide. Okay, now consider this. This statement I have written just to make sure that this ROC means outside the circle. So your x of n will be a right-handed sequence. So your z powers all will be negative. Okay, this is one observation from the given question. Now, just go for division method. I'll just zoom it a little bit. Okay, this is your numerator and this is your denominator. Now, one important point to remember here, just look at the sequence. It is in the same order, right? Whatever the order is given in the question, the same has been put. This has to be, very much remembered. When ROC is greater, sequence we should keep it in this order only, because when we went for partial fraction method in long division, we have reversed the sequences, if you remember. Okay, order we have reversed. Z raised to minus 2 we have kept it first, and then 1 at the last, and we have gone for long division. But that you keep it that side only. Here now in power series expansion, when we are dividing, the important point to remember is when ROC is greater, we have to keep the same sequence, that is lowest to highest, 1, then z inverse, z raised to minus 2, z raised to minus 3, like that. Same order should be followed. That's what I have written here. This is your numerator, this is your denominator. Now uh, we have to cancel this term 1. Okay, what is the first term here? It is also 1. So no need to go for any manipulation, simply multiply by 1. That's what your first term is there, that is 1. If you multiply this 1 with all these three terms, what you will get? The first term will be 1, second term is minus 1.5 z inverse, third term is plus 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay, just simply multiply by 1. Why only 1? Because already we have 1 here, the first term. So no need for any manipulations. If you multiply 1, you will get this directly, 1 1. Okay, so once you multiply, you will get this. Now go for, you just change the sign, minus plus and minus, these two gets cancel out. This is your new term, plus 1.5 z inverse minus 0.5 z raised to minus 2. So this is your new term. Now some thing to be thought. Okay, this is your new term, and this is your division. Okay, the denominator. If you observe, your denominator first term is 1. Okay, but what is the first term here? It is 1.5 z inverse. So 1 into what value will be equal to 1.5 z inverse? It is 1.5 z inverse itself, because here it is 1. If you just look at this first value, it is 1. So 1 into what value is 1.5 z inverse? It is 1.5 z inverse itself. So multiply this 1.5 z inverse with all these three terms. So what you will get? 1.5 z inverse into 1 is the same, minus 1.5 into 1.5. It is, I think, 2.25. 15 square will be 225. So 2.25. Z inverse into Z inverse is Z raised to minus 2. Then 1.5 into 0.5, you will get 0.75. Z raised to minus 2 into Z raised to minus 1 will be Z raised to minus 3. Okay. Now go for change the sign, minus plus minus. These two gets cancelled. You'll be left with 2.25 minus 0.5 will be 1.75 z raised to minus 2 minus 0.75 z raised to minus 3. Now this is your denominator, and if you see, 1.75 is the first term, 1.75 z raised to minus 2. Now 1 into what value is equal to 1.75 z inverse? It is the same, 1.75 z inverse into 1 will be 1.75 z raised to minus 2. So multiply this with all the three terms. So you will be getting 1.5 z raised to minus 2, then 1.5 into 1.75. It is somewhat, you can just calculate, go through the calculator. 1.5 into 1.75, you will get 2.675, and z inverse into z raised to minus 2 is z raised to minus 3, and 1.75 into 0.5, third term, it is 0.875. Z raised to minus 2 into z raised to minus 2, z raised to minus 4. So after multiplication, just go for sign change, because you're subtracting. These two gets cancelled. You will be left with, I have written here, you can just check, 2.675 minus 0.75. If you calculate this, you will get 1.875 z raised to minus 3 minus 0.875 z raised to minus 4. So this is the term we get after getting the subtraction. Now let me just zoom it a little bit. The next term is, I think we are here now, somewhere here. Our denominator is this. It is actually here hidden, I cannot show it, so I'm taking this as the reference. This is your denominator part, and if you see, this is your first term. So this is your, the leftmost value is 1. So 1 into what value is equal to this? So the same value. That's why same value you put it in the quotient part, 1.875 z raised to minus 3, and multiply this with all the three terms. We are just go on dividing. Okay, so multiply this with all the three terms. First term will be 1.875 z raised to minus 3. Then second term, multiply this with second term, 1.5. 1.875 into 1.5, you will get 2.812. You can check it with your calculator. And the z powers are z raised to minus 3 and z raised to minus 1 is z raised to minus 4. Next time you multiply this term with 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Z powers will be minus 3 and minus 2, minus 5. Okay, z raised to minus 5. And 1.875 into 0.5, you will get 0.9375, something like this. You can calculate from your calculator. 1.875 into 0.5 will be 0.9375. After that, go for again subtraction, change the signs. Okay, so first term gets cancelled, you'll be left with this much. That you can again go for calculations. 2.812 minus 0.875, you will get 1.9375 z raised to minus 4 minus 0.937 z raised to minus 5. Now in the next term, if you observe, this is your first term, and if you just check your denominator, the first value is 1. 1 into what value is equal to this? 1 into the same value. So same thing will be in the quotient. So just multiply this with all the three terms. So 1 into 1.9375 is the same. Second term is 1.5 into 1.9375. You can calculate, you will get 2.90. And third term I have not written, just here it is continued. I didn't have the space, I did not write. You just calculate 1.9375 into 0.5. What value you get, you write that. And z power is z raised to minus 2 and z raised to minus 4. So z raised to minus 6 you will get the third term. Okay, some value into z raised to minus 6, and you can continue this for another 2 to 3 terms. Okay, I have done till z raised to minus 4. If you observe, till z raised to minus 4 I have done. You can continue 1 or 2 terms further and stop. Okay, now once we go for this division, the next step is, according to your basics, if you see here, comparison of z transform with this expansion. Okay, we should first go for expansion, and from the given question it is observed that we will get only right handed sequence, so z negative powers. So that is very much clear with your quotient value. Just observe the quotient, what you have got: z inverse, z raised to minus 2, z raised to minus 3, z raised to minus 4, all negative powers of z, right? So negative powers of z means right handed sequence. Negative powers of z, right handed sequence. N is from 0 to infinity. Okay, so what we have to do, just take this equation, okay, from 0 to infinity, uh, this as a reference, and this quotient value I have written here. Okay, so quotient, and this is your reference equation. Just compare the coefficients. Okay, that is the next step. The next step is going for comparison. This is quotient value we got, and see, a reminder will continue here. Okay, it is a long series because it is up to infinite, so you cannot get any reminder, it will continue. So quotient value, whatever you have got, just club together and put it as x of z. This is one equation. And if you take your formula for x of z, expand it from n0 to infinity, you will get one more equation. Compare the coefficients. If you compare, what observation you can make is, first value is 1 for x of 0, because z power, it is not having any z power, z is to 0. So the first value x of 0 is equal to 1. Then x of 1 is 1.5. X of 2 is 1.75, x of 3 is 1.875, x of 4 is 1.9375. One or two terms extra you can manipulate and you can get those values also. So those things I have listed here after comparison. So applying the inverse, what we will get? Those coefficients, put it in the flower bracket and list. This itself is your inverse Z transform, original sequence x of n. And why I have written this arrow mark? It is indicating that that is the origin. Okay, so it has started with 1. So only right-handed sequence we have got up to infinity according to your given ROC. So I hope this problem is understood to you. So we can go for one more problem of similar kind. In the next problem, what we will do, we will simply change the ROC. Okay, here it was greater. If you see in the question, ROC was greater. Now in the second problem, we will try to see if ROC is lesser, how the calculations and the method will change. Okay, if you look at this, the given question has same question it is. Only ROC has been changed. It was greater earlier. Now it is lesser than 0.5. So alpha value is 0.5. So what observation we can make from the given question is, as ROC is given lesser, so your ROC lies inside the circle. Inside means it is a left hand sided sequence. So if the sequence is left hand sided, means minus infinity up to -1, then 0 and infinity. So this part will vanish. Only this negative part will come. So if you check, that's what is written here. ROC is inside, sequence is a left-handed sequence, and hence positive powers of Z. What do you mean by this? Positive powers of Z means here in your equation, the Z transform equation, if you expand it, this will not exist now. Positive values will not exist. Only you will get these things, minus infinity to -1. And again, there if you observe, Z powers are negative. Even though n values are negative, Z powers will be positive. Sorry, n values are negative. The bracket values, if you check, n values are negative, but Z powers are positive. That's what I have written here in the second formula, in the second problem. Hence, the positive powers of Z. Okay, now let us try solving this. This is your numerator. If it is x by y, how will you write? Something like this. Okay, so numerator, put it. So numerator is 1, I have written. Now check the denominator. In the earlier problem, when ROC was greater, the same sequence I have used. But here, when the ROC is lesser, I have reversed the order. Why is it so? What happens if I reverse the order? What happens if I continue with the same order? In the previous problem, if you have seen, the same order I have used, I have got all Z negative powers, right? Because our equation or the signal x of n was a right-handed sequence. So we wanted all Z negative powers. That's why sequence was taken as it is. But here we want the Z powers positive. Okay, so how is it possible to get the positive powers? You have to reverse this denominator order. then you will get the positive powers. You can try. See, same sequence rakh ke abhi hum just now we have calculated, we have got all negative powers of z, which we don't want here because we want positive powers of z. That's why obviously we have to change this order of the denominator. Whatever is there, 1 minus 1.5 plus 0.5, this has to be reversed. First value will be 0.5, next 1.5, next 1. So this is very important. When ROC is greater, same order you take. When ROC is less, reverse the order. Let's go for the calculation. I'll just zoom a little bit. Okay. So if you observe, this is your 1. And if you see, this is your 0.5 z raised to minus 2. Okay. But we want 1. Okay. It is something like this. 0.5 z inverse. Sorry. It's not inverse. It is raised to minus 2. Okay. 0.5 z raised to minus 2 into what value is equal to 1. We want 1, right? Because your denominator, if you see, sorry, if you see your numerator, it is 1. We want 1, but we are having 0.5 z raised to minus 2. So 0.5 z raised to minus 2 into what value is equal to 1? So how will you get? 1 divided by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. So these two gets cancelled, you will get 1. So what should be the value? 1 divided by 0.5 z raised to minus 2. So if you just solve it, 1 divided by 0.5 is 1 divided by 0.5 is 1 by 2. And denominator z raised to minus 2. If you further solve it, 1 by 1 by 2 is 2. And z, take it to the numerator, z square. So 2z square is your required quotient value. I hope you understood this. So this into all three terms. Just multiply 2z square into 0.5 z raised to minus 2, you will get 1. Right? No doubt, because we wanted that. Then 2 into 1.5 z raised to minus 1. 1.5 into 2. 15 to is 30. So 1.5 into 2 will be 3. So 3, you have z raised to minus 1 and z square. 1 z will cancel, 1 z will remain. So 3z plus 2z square into 1 as it is. 2z square. So just subtract it. To subtract, change the signs, minus, plus, minus. After changing the signs, subtract, these two will cancel. You will be left with 3z minus 2z square. Okay. Now, further, what is the first value? It is 3z. What is our value? 0.5 z raised to minus 2. It is something like this. 0.5 z raised to minus 2 into what value is equal to 3z. We should get that now. What I'll do for my simplicity, 0.5, I will write like this, 1 by 2. It is easy for me. Now, 1 by 2 into what value is equal to 3? It is 6, right? Because 2 ones are, 2 threes are, you will get 3. Now, z raised to minus 2 is there. Into what value is equal to z? So we want this to be z raised to 3. Then 2 powers will cancel and 1 z will remain. You will get 3z. So remember, your value, this you want 3z, and first term is this. So to get 3z, you should multiply by 6z cube. That is your quotient value. So 6z cube multiply with all the three terms. Just multiply 6z cube with all the three terms. Let's see what will happen. 6z cube into all the three terms. First value is you will get 3z. Next value 6 into 1.5. How much you will get? I think 15 6 are 90. So 1.5 into 6 you will get 9. And z power z raised to minus 1 and z cube. 1 z gets cancelled. You will be left with z square. So 9 z square. Then third term 1 into 6 z cube, 6 z cube only. So multiply that, and after that change the signs. You subtract them, you will get 7z square minus 6z cube. This is the value you get. After this, observe the first term is 7z square. Our denominator has 0.5 z raised to minus 2. So it is like this. For my ease, I will take 0.5 as 1 by 2. Okay. 1 by 2 z raised to minus 2 into what value is equal to 7z square I get. This is the question. Now, how to get 7? You have divide by 2. So double it. 14. 7 ones are 7. So 2 ones are 2 sevens are. So you will get this 7. Now, here you have z raised to minus 2. Here you should get z raised to plus 2. So just take 4. So that 4 minus 2 will be 2. So 14 z raised to 4 is your quotient value. Okay. So once you get that, just multiply this with all the three terms. So first term will be 7z square. Next term is 14 into 1.5. So 14 into 1.5, how much you will get? You can use a calculator. I think 210 you will get. 14 into 15 is 210, because 15 into 15 is 225. So 15 into 14 is 1.5 into 14 is 21. That I have written here. Plus 14 into 1. Third term, same. 14 z raised to 4. Once we do this, just change the signs. Subtract. You will get first term cancels. Second term, 21 minus 6. 15 z cube minus 14 z raised to 4. After this, observe first value is 15 z cube, and our denominator first term is 0.5 z raised to minus 2. It is something like this. 1 by 2 z raised to minus 2. 0.5 I have written as 1 by 2 into what value is equal to, I will get 15 z cube. This is like this. Now, since it is 15 here, just double it. 30. Okay. So 30 to 1s are 2 15s are. So you will get 15, right? So 30 is the number. Now here you have z raised to minus 3. You should get z cube. Okay. Cube means 2 plus 1. Z raised to, if I see take 5, what will happen? 5 minus 2, 3. Yes. Z raised to 5 into 30. This is the term which is your quotient value. 30 z raised to 5. After that, just multiply this with all the three terms. First term will be 15 z cube, which will cancel. Second term is 15 into 30. 15 3s are 45. And 15 into 30. 1.5 into 30, which will be 45. Okay. 45 z raised to 4, because z raised to minus 1 into z raised to 4. 5. So 5 minus 1 will be 4. Next, third term is 1 into that value, the same value, 30 z raised to 5. After this, simply change the signs. First term gets cancelled. You will be left with 45 minus 14, 31 z raised to 4 minus 30 z raised to This is your thing. Now, if you observe, this is your first term, and this is your first term in the denominator. So it is like this: 1 by 2. I have written 0.5 as 1 by 2, z raised to minus 2 into what value is equal to 31 z raised to 4. So as it is 31, I'll double it. It will become 62. So that when I divide it, I'll get 31. So this is your number 62. 62 into, here you have z raised to minus 2. You want z raised to 4. I think if I take 6, what will happen? Z raised to 6. 6 minus 4. Yes, 6 minus 2. I'll get 4. So this is your quotient value, 62 z raised to 6. So this is the quotient value. Next time what you do, simply take this, multiply it with all the three terms. You can continue. Okay, I have done till this much. You can take z raised to 7, z raised to 8. Another two terms you can continue. No issues. So once we multiply, we got a quotient value. Again, here I am telling you, we will not get the remainder, one final remainder, as it's infinite. Okay. So finally, what all quotient value I have got, I have listed. Okay, x of z is equal to. Now the next step is, we have to compare this with your formula series x of z. According to the formula, when you expand it, you should compare this with that sequence that I have written here. And if you see, I have taken it from x of 0 and all negative powers, negative n values, not powers, negative n values, because we want a left-handed side sequence. So all negatives, minus infinity, 0 and infinity. We don't want this. We have taken only expansion of the left-hand side, which has all z positive powers. So if I take this, this is your quotient value. This is your expanded equation for x of z. Compare, if you compare, see z square. Okay, z square will be, I have not written here, another two terms. Okay, x of minus 3 z raised to 3 plus x of minus 2 z raised to 2 plus x of minus 1 z raised to 1. So these three terms I have not written. I have just put dots. Okay, these are the three terms. So z square means what? X of minus 2. Okay, so what is the coefficient? It is 2. So that's why if you see, x of minus 2 is 2, because the power is z square. Then z cube, that is x of minus 3 is 6, x of minus 4 is 14, x of minus 5 is 30, x of minus 6 is 62, and so on. Okay. And what about z power of another two terms, x of minus 1 and x of 0? Because your series is like this, right? Your series is like this. This we don't want. We want this range. So x of 0 and x of 1. But your x of z has started with x of minus 2. So still minus 1 and 0, two terms are missing, which are zeros. That's why I have written here, your sequence has no z power of 1 and z power of 0 term. So both values are 0. Then remaining all coefficients. And finally, write your inverse z transform. Taking inverse z, x of n will be, first two terms are 0, x of 0 and x of minus 1, and remaining all terms. Remember, write it like this, minus infinity to 0. Okay, don't write like first term is 0 0, don't write this. Indicates your right hand sided sequence. You have to write the left hand part, so you should write like this. Okay, so if you write like that, club it, 62 30 14 6 2.